are most thrilled to have the company today of a powerful woman whose unmatched talent continues to floor us after 2 decades of her entering the film industry. Not only has she made characters iconic with her performances, she's also actually led change in the film industry when it comes to actresses in their different life stages. Please give it up for the Queen of Hearts, Kareena Kapoor Khan. And because Kareena is as special as she is, we have not one, but two accomplished gentlemen interviewing her. So please join us on stage, Veer Sanghvi and Chetan Bhagat.
मैम आपके लिए 2 लगते हैं मॉडरेटर ये लेवल पे आप हो आज we were discussing the Veer said you asked the first question so I'm asking this big debate on can a woman have it all career family husband kids fitness looks money fame guess who has it all
every human can have it all men women everybody but I think what I have which I count most important amongst all these things is that I'm happy. And happiness is something that I have. Because my happiness is my mental stability. And if that is not there, बाकी आपने सब जो कहा, fame, money, career, husband, kids, everything falls short. सब खत्म हो जाता है. So for me, that is the most important that a woman should preserve. Self-preservation leads to happiness.
But that's one of the interesting things about you and Saif, that both of you form a very close family unit with your kids, and though you're both public people, you're also very private people.
Like I said, some things should be preserved, should be kept a little bit for the unknown. That feeling of, okay, do we really know her? Do we don't? I'm happy with people. कुछ लोग assume भी कर लेते हैं कि शायद वो ऐसी होगी. जैसे कि most people feel like I'm either Poo or Geet.
Yeah.
And I've made them believe that could be a possibility.
You're not?
I'm a bit of all
Please
my
become.
characters. But there's a side to me that it is very private. I like to keep it a little private. I think if everything is just left for the known and, for judgment, I don't know how we'll survive as actors.
But between you and Saif, you have a reputation for being the more even-tempered one, and he's slightly moody. Is that fair?
Well, he's not going to agree to that, Veer. He's going to want to say that even she's moody.
You can tell us the truth.
I think that, we both, in a way, we ground each other. I think a husband or wife jo hota hai, I think they kind of, they feed off each other. Both Saif and me, if he's hyper, I'm calm. If I'm getting hyper, he's always trying to calm me down. So I think somewhere that dynamic has worked out, but I would say that he may be a lot more impulsive, but now I've calmed him down.
So straight.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you mentioned privacy and having a boundary. Now, curiosity about celebrities' kids is normal. It's everywhere. And we've seen it, but we've not seen it like we saw for Taimur.
Yeah. I think the only way I could be was to actually be chilled about it. Because if I was hyper about it, which maybe I was inside, but if I would bring it out, I feel somewhere it would have affected Taimur in knowing that, something's upsetting me, or that, like there's too many cameras on me, or kya ho raha hai, kyun kar rahe hain aise, kyun photo le rahe hain. Like Saif just told me, he said just, head down and walk. And then when Taimur understands after a certain age, which he does, that my parents are famous, so they're clicking him.
Both of you grew up being star kids, in a sense, with everyone knowing who you were. Stardust would write about you.
But tab ek hi Stardust tha, ek hi
But I was
Cinebliss
about to
tha.
say that, but it was different in those days, There were lines people didn't cross. Those lines are gone. Kids are fair game now.
Everything is, you're being scrutinized with a magnifying glass. I feel the digital age and Instagram, and people are just making up stories.
Yeah.
Anything is just being written. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody's writing a review.
Do you sometimes feel guilty about working and not being there for your kids? A lot of women do. What do you have to say to those who do, and how do you cope with that feeling?
You know, you have to talk to yourself, convince yourself, say that it's okay. Because somewhere I feel that I can't live this guilt of, you know, I'm not going to be there at certain times or at all times, and I'm, you know, not there 24 hours. Being a working mother is something that, I mean, I can't live without either. I don't know anything without that. Like Taimur understands that when I say I'm going to work, I'm going to shooting. I also feel it's a healthy atmosphere for him to see that his mother as well as his father go to work. They take turns in who's probably going to be there at home. I think it'll give him a very balanced approach to, you know, growing up and knowing how to respect a woman.
How do you, in a home situation, insulate your kids from the uncertainties that a star's life inevitably has?
It's like a vicious, never-ending circle, na? Right. कि जो success, failure होता है तो then you're like, नहीं, now I have to do something where I want to be successful. When you're successful, it's never enough. You want to constantly keep chasing it. So I feel that somewhere I can speak for myself that I've just learned to just say that this is what I want to do and only this much. And I want to step back. I've seen it all, I've done it. But now I have to find success, happiness, and some sort of comfort in other things apart from just chasing this box office, this nexus that just sucks you in.
How do you see OTT versus films?
I think COVID changed a lot. You know, people being in their homes for 2 years kind of left people consuming a lot from the digital and the OTT space because there was obviously no cinemas for like a year and a half. So maybe the audience's mindset changed for a bit. Also, their exposure to the OTT platform and the kind of films that were coming out was very different because, you know, it's a different platform. You're allowed to show a lot more. There's a lot of different kind of storytelling. But I think eventually, the heart of where we all lie is, you know, कि family के साथ theater में जाके film देखनी है. That spirit started coming back slowly.
How is the scheduling of your life happening?
Where actually both of us are working.
Yeah.
So we like take turns. If, you know, I want to do a film, we try that Saif is at home. If Saif is shooting for a film, then I try to be at home. Because we're always, one of us want to be with, you know, the kids. They're obviously of that age where they need one of their parents with them. And then we take out that time where, like, for in a year, 2.5 months, we won't work together, which is June to August. And that is like a pact that come what may, it's okay. And I mean, you know, you have to learn to sacrifice something.
That's vacation time. So,
yeah,
that's family vacation.
Because that's a family vacation, and that's the longest period that, you know, Taimur gets his holidays. So we want to spend time together, travel, be at home. It's not necessary that we have to be on a holiday. The idea is that we just have to be together.
From the time you joined the industry to now, do you feel the way in which women are being treated in the industry has changed?
No, I think it has changed because I think a lot of strong women have done a lot of strong parts.
Yeah.
They have done films that have been loved by the audiences, by the masses, by the, you know, by the film people, by the critics, and at the box office. So whether it's, you know, lead actresses like Kangana, like Vidya, like Deepika, or myself, I think we've always tried to stand for roles that have risen above just being, you know, there in the film.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that has what has really, really changed a lot of dynamics on everybody, you know, demanding a certain role, demanding a certain fee, demanding a certain position. And I think today things are different.
Also the old argument that people went to see heroes at the box office and the women were just incidental, that's dead, no?
No, I think people are going to see films.
There was this notion, stereotype, that there's a shelf life of an actor, especially female actor.
Audience also has become accepting. And I think age is just, you know, a number. It's something that you're as old as you look. today. I mean, you have to be fit, you have to look good, yes, because it's a visual medium.
Going forward, I mean, to take his question forward, do you see yourself acting forever? Or do you see yourself stepping back?
Oh, my grandfather always said, na, jeena yahan, marna yahan,
right.
iske siva jana kahan. For me, I've just grown up with that. He's exposed us to that, and you know, for me, that is what I want.
I think it's been really interesting talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you for
please
having
give
me.
it up for Kareena Kapoor Khan. And I'd like to invite on stage now Chandrasekhar Ghosh, MD and CEO Bandhan Bank, and also Avinash Pandey, CEO ABP Network, to hand over Kareena a memento from Ideas of India. और करीना की एक्टिंग prowess इतनी बड़ी है, she is a change maker for us. She's made a lasting impact in the industry and she's got many years to go. So we'd also like to hand over Kareena the Change Maker Award for creating a cast of memorable characters from Geet to Maya. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Show Kareena Kapoor Khan the love that we feel for her. From creating ripples in Tamil cinema since his directorial debut in 2013 to making his first Hindi film break box office records in 2023. Filmmakers like him are hard to come by, and we cannot wait to see what else is coming up from his kitty. Please welcome on stage blockbuster director and producer Atley. And my lucky day because I get to talk to one of the most successful directors of our time. हिंदी समझते नहीं हैं, तो हिंदी फिल्म्स आप ब्लॉकबस्टर कैसे बना सकते हैं? मतलब we've seen Jawan and we've seen the kind of impact it has had.
Movies are not bounded by languages. Movie is a heart. It's love. That's the reason I feel even I'm not familiar with the language Hindi, I could make what I want to make, and I made whatever you have to feel, whatever you have to emote, I've made it in my film, and that's the reason I feel Jawan is a biggest hit all over.
Yeah.
And I have UAE fans who doesn't even know Hindi. I have Hollywood fans who doesn't know Hindi. So it's good.
You know, everybody dreams of working with the one and the only Shah Rukh Khan. You aced that dream. But I want to understand that when you were growing up, what were some of your favorite things about Shah Rukh Khan or one of his movies that you absolutely loved?
I love all his films. DDLJ, Kuch Hota Hai, Om Shanti Om, Chennai Express. I can go on. See, the one thing I love about him is his screen presence is unmatchable, and he's the face of Indian cinema to the world. So it is a dream to work with Mr. Shah Rukh sir.
From what I understand, that initially the plan was to get into acting. So how did direction happen?
No. No. See, I was very interested in dance. So my mom said I'm a good dancer. Then I started dancing. Then in my school events, I started choreographing the dance. Then in choreography, I started conveying stories. That's where I got interest to directorials and saying story. Then I started short film, and then I assisted Shankar sir for 5 years. Then I became a director.
You know, you've had 4 hits in Tamil cinema, blockbusters again, a major hit in the Hindi film industry. Have you been able to find a connect between what appeals to audiences across the country? Because you're a pan-India star director now, if I may say so.
The most genuine time is layman's time. Layman's money is most genuine money. If someone is investing 300 rupees for a ticket, and I have to be very responsible for it as a filmmaker, he's just genuinely entering into a theater. He just want to get entertained in that 3 hours. If you put parking to going home, maximum 6 hours. A 6 hours investment plus 300 rupees of a layman, it's a huge commitment. And I have to feel responsible for it. My difference between 4 Tamil films and 1 Hindi film, no difference. I've been genuine to my promise. I've kept my responsibility same. Later in some years, if I'm going to make a Hollywood film, I'll do the same, and people is going to watch it.
So is the Hollywood Connect happening? Because I believe there have been some meetings.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
Tell us more. You can't be here and just tease us. Now we need to know more, right? If he's going to Hollywood.
See, it took 8 years to reach Bollywood. Maybe in next 3 years, you will see something there with a great announcement. I'm working on it.
Amazing. If we talk about the movies in Tamil and Hindi, there is some criticism that there is a lot of unnecessary violence in your movies.
We see a lot of news channels. Why do they carry violent footages? For what? To show the world what is the truth. See, violence for what purpose?
But there's no creative discretion, right, over there. I'm saying there's no creative discretion when a news channel portrays real world happening.
Yeah, see, for an example from Jawan, if I have to say, we have read a lot of newspapers about farmer suicide.
Yeah.
You might have passed the paper. Maybe little people might have emoted for it. But as a filmmaker, I'm also a media person. I'm also part of you. I have a voice. I have to voice out. And when I show how a farmer suicide is happening visually, and it stucks into your heart, and it brings at least 1% of some change can happen, that's my voice out. So sometimes violence are like doctor injection. It is painful for the better cure.
Besides some violence, I think one other thread in a lot of the films that you make is that there is a sort of a social message as well.
So God has given me a voice to loud out, shout out on something by film. So I need to shout out for certain social messages as a filmmaker.
When you're giving out a social message, and you said it's important to you, is there a political voice there?
Politics is part of life, right from your beginning. Game is part of us. Beauty is part of us. Emotion is part of us. Politics is part of us. Politics should be spoken, and if it is hidden, I think it is not the democracy. You have to speak about it, for sure.
It's good to hear that. What you have called in the past the God shot, right? Where the hero comes and it's a wow moment.
When I was a child, I used to go to temples where you stand in a long queue and there is a build-up of music. Finally, you see a God with arati, with sound, and you get, oh my God, that's a feeling. That's an Indian emotional feeling. If I'm praying for something, suddenly if the arati happens, I feel great about it. It has come from my roots, so that is heroism to me. The hero has to enter when there is a trouble. So that is my God shot.
The hero is the savior.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Let's talk about the producer aspect, right? You've started your own production company, and we know that Baby John is coming up. Tell us a little bit more about that, and also the fact that that you seem to be inclined towards horror, thriller, again action movies. So, in your journey as a producer, is that theme going to continue?
Producer is a new shoe for me. I'm learning a lot of stuff. I have learned a lot of stuff from Mr. Shahrukh sir and my producer, whoever has produced till date my films. So I'm trying something new. Of course, Baby John is the special one. This is the biggest one we are producing right now. And it's going to talk about how good parenting is required for the society. And it's going to be every parent's film. Everyone going to enjoy in theater for sure.
Thank you so much, Atley, for being with us today.
Thank you.
And what a wonderful conversation this has been. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Atley and please stay with us on stage. I'd like to invite Mayank Agarwal, CEO, Gallant Group of Industries, to present Atley with a small token of our gratitude. Thank you. And Atley, you for us are the change maker as far as making a mark in Indian cinema is concerned. And so I'd like to invite on stage Avinash Pandey, CEO of ABP Network, to please present Atley with the Change Maker for Good Award. Let's hear it for one of India's most promising directors.